Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2025 My Team Mode. We are headed to race number 11 of the season, the Austrian Grand Prix, which has been a sprint race in the past few years. This year, we are back to the normal weekend configuration. We had a little bit of rain in the practice sessions, but it does look like we are on track for some dry qualifying and racing. As far as development, looks like we've jumped ahead now of, looks like Haas, VCarb, and Sauber. We're starting to catch up to Alpine weather-wise. Yep, a little bit of overcastness, but we are dry throughout. So let's go ahead and get our engine bits swapped out. I think it's about time for a new MGUK. It's close enough. That'll run. Obviously, big long straights here around Austria, so power sensitivity and having that that extra grunt in the engine is definitely going to potentially help us out. It's a track I'm pretty well familiar with from league racing. It's one of my personal favorites to drive. Let's see if that translates into being competitive against the AI, but let's head off to qualifying.
High up in the mountains here at Spielberg, it's time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Well, here we are getting wound up for our first run of qualifying. A little out of sequence because we had some electrical faults that needed to be fixed, about a minute and change of repair. And we slotted in with some cars on push laps right behind us, so kind of had to hustle the outlap. But here we are starting the first one. Get down the first straight, find about this 100-meter board. The car turned in, back end loves to go loose. So it's not a perfect entry in there, could have taken more of that inside curve. But now we head our way up the hill, grab a little distance slipstream, similar, just right around the 100-meter board. Get the car rotated for turn 3 and on the power. A little tricky uphill acceleration zone. And now, last big overtaking opportunity, turn 4. Hard on the brakes a little early because of this downhill braking. Get the car that wants to understeer rotated. And then once you're on power, had to catch the slide. Now for the middle part of the lap, which apparently I left the overtake button on there, so I've burned a chunk of battery and we've gone wide. So, not ideal. We will just come straight into the pits and go again. So a little bit of a mixed up start to the session, but you can see what it is getting around this circuit. Very short lap and very fast. All right, get the engine cranked up once again. Had to deal with a little bit of that traffic passing through, so we got a little bit of a compromised outlap, but traffic is always going to be something you have to deal with around this circuit. Let's see if we can get a time on the board that makes the team proud here. Better run through turn 1 that time. You can see we carried a fair bit more apex speed taking that inside curve. Get to the apex of 3 relatively early. You have more room on the exit than the entry there, especially as you crest the hill. Left a little bit of margin there in the braking for turn 4. Make sure we stay on track this time. There we go. Push hard. Just a couple of corners left to go. Looks like a car coming in on the pit lane. But he's well clear of us. And a pretty safe run to the line there. P5 overall. Here we are on the fresh tires this time, a bit early. The weather report has updated on only a few minutes. They're expecting rain to start falling, so this may be kind of our last fast lap opportunity. So we put the fresh tires on instead of the used ones, and we're gonna go for it. See what we can do. Pretty nip and tuck through turn one. Wasn't quite as clean as I would have liked it. Bit of a lockup on the way to turn three. And that has lost us about a tenth. Can we make it up in the middle sector?
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Found a little bit of time in the last couple of sectors there. Found about 2/10 overall, so some time but not position found, though that may be the difference when it comes to the final runs. Well, we popped on one less set of fresh soft tires to try and get back out one more run before the rain, but as you can see, right as we pull out of the pit lane, it is raining. So we're just going to baby these tires back to the pits so we can save them for the race.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Strong qualifying performance, a track I like, into the 104.6s. Where's our teammate? Joshua Pierce doesn't look to have gotten a very good lap on the board. Well, let's see what we can do. One of our best starting positions alongside with Monaco. Let's see if we can convert it.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve. It was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Martins, Charles Leclerc and Antonelli, Gasly, Albon, Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Hamilton, George Russell and Ocon, Hadjar, Lawson, Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz, Doohan, Pierce, Behrman and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. In Formula One, Ant, we take every race as it comes, and there's always another race next week. But some milestones are worth thinking about. This, double figures now for our new team.
Yeah, the team's 10th appearance. They've done well to this point. They're getting their foot through the door, but there's a lot more to come. Much tougher tracks where you've got to get even more performance out of your car.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Looks like we're hitting the part of the season where people are starting to take some grid penalties to get some power unit portions changed. So that benefits us, moves us up another spot on the grid. I'm thinking we go house money and drive with go for the one stop. We can make it work. I think the alternate one stop is the better one, though. I think going mediums first and then hards is going to be the better combination. And then that way we can just go on the hards for as long as we want. And if we need to at the very end, we'll slap on a set of softs for like a quick little sprint. Of course, we'll see how it all plays out. Car seems all right on tire wear. But as we saw in Imola, that can change pretty quickly. Let's get to it. Here come the 5 red lights. And out. Looks like we got a pretty decent start. Verstappen's going to move to cover us. I don't know if there was a little bit of contact with Piastri potentially. It felt a little squirrely, or maybe it was just having to drop down so low in order to cover him off. But we're up into the podium places at the start here. Typical yellow flag for the first time through turn 3 because the cars are all bunched up and go really slow. As always, first laps are kind of just getting a feel for the car on high fuel. Even though you do some race sims in practice, you're still only carrying about 10 laps worth of fuel and not 36. So but we're off to a strong start here in the wheel tracks of Verstappen, who's lost his pole position to Norris. We're going to go big on the battery here. Leave him space on the inside.
Great maneuver. You made it look so easy.
Bit of wheel spin on the exit there, but we've got the move done on Verstappen. Let's make these medium tires work while we've got them. It's usually my weaker part of the track compared to the AI. Because of things like that where I just kind of forget where the apex is. And McLaren's just going to be a little out of reach for me. Did go purple, purple, purple though. Not a big surprise there. The big benefit of the slipstream and the DRS. I think now is the time to try and save some battery. We don't want to lose the cars ahead. That's going to be pretty important to stay with this pair. They might just be edging out away. Just held on to it. It's a fast lap from Max. Already a fair chunk of unhappiness out of the rear tires. You're going to see we're going to start sliding backwards real quick. There's the strength of those exits they get. Been a little bit in the making, but Lewis is going to get by us very soon.
The effects of some tyre wear soon, so stay on your toes.
Yep, should be now that he gets by me pretty easily. Gap behind the Piastri, 5.1. Back down to P5 to our regular qualifying spot. Realistically, that's just kind of car performance shaking out. Looks like Leclerc is in the pits.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 3.7 seconds.
Starting to go about another 3 laps on these tires. All right, we just barely kept these tires alive. We got up to 79% on the back left. Need a good pit stop from the crew.
Okay, mate, that's
Wonderful.
It. Go, go, go.
Good stop from the
Perfect
crew this
job
time.
on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Just put it straight into hot lap. Let's just run some laps in our own clean air.
Piastri is in the pits.
All right, up a couple of spots thanks to the pit stops. And Sonoda's into the pit lane, as is Norris. Let's turn up the wick a little bit more, deploy some of this battery since we're not fighting anybody directly on track.
0.8. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 7.7 seconds.
Okay, Leclerc and Russell are in. Leclerc onto hards. .8 in 12 laps.
Green flag.
Piastri out of the session. Both Ferraris behind us. We are in a podium position at the moment. Although I think Leclerc's putting on about a second a lap behind us. Driver behind.
Leclerc is behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. And the time last lap, 1:24.1.
Let's get back into hot lap mode now that the battery's charged up a bit. Got running 109s. Driver behind.
Leclerc behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Time last lap, 1:07.5.
Yep. Yeah, if they're running 7.5s and we're running 9.0s, 1.5 seconds per lap. That calculus does not favor us with 8 laps left to go. .4 to Hamilton.
At the moment, the car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
And here comes Leclerc. See if we can't force him to the outside. Just got more traction than me at the moment. Let's see if we can stick with him for a little bit. Burning battery. Hanging in his DRS might be the difference between staying ahead of Hamilton at the end of this and not. Car really slid through that corner. Holy smokes.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Not enough tires or battery to do an attack on the last lap. But to hang with him for as long as we did, kept us significantly ahead of Hamilton, kept him outside of 2 seconds. Lawson out, not able to finish. Sucks for Liam. Lewis made like 1.5 on that last lap, but across the line for a P4 finish. Finishing where we qualified. Solid run around the Austrian circuit. Whew. It's always a fun one. One stop worked. Got the one stop. It was painful at the end of that first and second stint, but got the job done.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky 3, it's time to stand on it. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number 1, Max Verstappen. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula 1 action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Peak pace was good, comparable to the Ferraris even while we ran the one stop. I don't think our teammate had a particularly good day. He made a couple positions up, finished P15 from P20, but that's some solid points. Not quite the podium. Would have liked to have felt like Leclerc's tires might have died in that last couple of laps, but he did get just what he needed for that last lap. That does move us up to 33 points on the season. 8th in the Drivers' Championship, ahead of Carlos Sainz in the Williams. Our teammate, though, needs to pick it up a little bit. 39 points to Williams 49, so we're still fighting out for that P5 on the grid position. Always cost of repairs now for the Victor Martin's car. Don't know. I don't think I damaged anything this weekend. Huh. Still have that payment. Nice. Title sponsor loyalties jumping up again. Fans are pretty happy.
Hey, boss, what do you make of this?
All right. Personnel facility event. What do we got here? Joint internship. Yeah, let's raise the workforce hire rate for sure. Let's keep these things going. Yeah, let's talk to Paul Aaron as well. See what he's kind of our backup plan for if Joshua Pierce gets a little too expensive. What are we looking at? 2.49 million. Yeah, he's much more affordable there. So I'd like to keep Joshua around. He's quick. He's a good measuring stick at most tracks. Activities. I think we've only got the 2 days activities, so let's keep fan outreach going. Messages. Yep, points on the board. Performance comparison. Creeping up towards Alpine. Not quite there yet. Training. Let's see. What do we want to do? Do we want to continue down? Let's just keep going full send down the, that activity. I don't think we can fit that activity. That's fine. So we'll have to do the, big old boy training later. Awesome. We've got some component management to do for Joshua Pierce. Okay, engine is good. I mean, that's me. Pierce. Engine is probably good for one more. That's okay. That's definitely toast. So new component there. That's fine. That's fine. Let's get you onto Gearbox 12 because that's what you'll be on next. But yep. Joshua JP's going to be having to take some pain soon here. Beam wing. It's unfortunate that failed its development. Oh, hallelujah. We're getting some of the rest of the tire wear upgrades kind of coming in now. Fantastic news. Lots of developments here. Oof. Turbo durability. Oh. Okay. So now that's all good. Do we have any research slots available? I think what we have, that's underway in Aero. Something's underway in Chassis. And no new slots available here. Last thing to take a look at is facility improvements. Let's see, we're 6 days away there, 10 days, 18 days. So no facility improvements to be had either. So let's go ahead and advance. Oh, and research failed.
Chief, I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
Well, let's see. Do we need to restart? I think that's fine. What about, what was it failed? Was it a development that it failed? Interesting. Not sure what the failure was. Oh well. Nothing to reassign. Silverstone. That's going to be an interesting one. What kind of tires do we want to... I want to grab the... Probably balanced for that week. But some solid points on the board. Always nice to get that. We're back to racing, and it's actually kind of like right alongside Real World F1 for the moment. It's kind of caught up with me, so Silverstone is next week in the real world, and maybe I'll get to drive this one this week and get it recorded, so you can kind of place it when they're getting recorded. I'm trying not to get too far out these days. But thank you all for joining me once again. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.